What's going on, everyone? Conservative Video Dipper here. If you got a dip, pack a lip. Well, for some of you guys and gals that want to question that I do my own research and I use credible sources, I'm on the page of the Office of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice. So, trust me, I do use really credible sources, reliable sources, especially public domain sources like this. They've released a article here. If you want to look it up, just go to Office of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice. Attorney General Pam Bondi releases first phase of declassified Epstein files. And yeah, you can read a little bit here. Let's get into a little read here. Today, Attorney General Pamela Bondi, in conjunction with the FBI, and by the way, hi boys and girls in Arlington or wherever y'all are, declassified and publicly released files related to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his sexual exploitation of over 250 underage girls at his home in New York and Florida, among other locations. The first phase of his declassified files largely contains documents that have been previously leaked but never released in a formal capacity by the U.S. government, which we all know probably a lot of it, not all of it probably will get released. There will be certain things that will probably be released and some things that won't. We'll discuss that here in a sec. This Department of Justice is following through the President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil on the disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators, said Attorney General Pam Bondi. The first phase of file releases today shed light on the Epstein's extensive network and begins to provide the public with long overdue accountability. So if you want to continue to read on and on and on, go ahead. But anyway, so let's get into what I think partially they will release and will not release. So what I think they will release is documents that are more like probably the flight logs, the guest logs, stuff like that. What they will not release is things that have any inclusion related to the victims or anything that's related to any underage girls or anything that has anything to do with the underage girls, because again it says down here that they are not going to release any information. They are going to protect the identities of Epstein's victims, which means that they want to make sure that nothing happens to them. So they want to make sure that anything that has like videos or evidence that includes them does not go public. They will more than likely keep it classified. And plus it has, that probably more than likely has a lot of CP in it, bad things with children underage, that kind of stuff. Well, you really don't want to release that kind of shit to the public, because you know there are weirdos out there and you don't want weirdos getting their hands onto that kind of stuff. So that's more than likely why also they're going to keep it classified. But also on top of that, they just want to make sure that the victims are safe and that they aren't being harassed and traumatized more. And they've gone through enough trauma already, and they've already gone through enough crap in their life already. And I think they really don't need to go through much more than what they've already gone through. But also, I think that, being said, not releasing anything that has to do with evidence that's pretty gruesome or that has things to do with victims, I think that's a very smart move too, with the FBI keeping that locked down, because especially if they're going to make a case out of this, you don't want it to go into the wrong hands. And if they do happen to have this go to court, you really don't want to blow this. You want this to just go as smooth as butter, and you want this to go all the way through and try to convict whoever is involved in this. Then you just got to try to keep your cards held to your chest, no poker face, and just look through the evidence and not let them know that you have or know what you have, but only let them know that you have certain things, but not let them know that you have things that may be very damning to them, more damning or extremely damning to them yet at that point, until later, until they've probably investigated it thoroughly, which I'm sure the boys and girls in Arlington are not very thrilled to have to go through all of this. But this is their job, and they know what to do. So anyway, so this is kind of what they do, and they know how to do it, and they will do it well. Anyway, evidence list. Let's take a quick peek at it. I'm not going to go through all of it. This is some of the evidence list. Again, I'm not going to glamour through all of it because it's pretty gruesome, and there's just some stuff in here I am not going to, I don't really want to be showing you guys because it could possibly, be very bad. But one thing on here, though, he did have was a cell phone. And laptop was one of many of the few noticeable things on here, obviously. So I guess that does kind of make sense. Cell phones, laptops, rope. Sounds like a complete psychopathic nut job. Flight logs. This is something that, if there's any more of, they probably will release this kind of stuff. If you guys want to sit and jog through this, jog through this, go ahead at your own leisure. Go for it. There are names in here that you can probably try to figure out if you can read it. Good luck. Some are readable and at least a little bit readable, but not all of them. But yeah, here's some of the list of the flight logs and stuff. JE, some of the abbreviations, there are some abbreviations like JE, probably more than likely stand for Jeffrey Epstein, his name. More flight log, contact book, redacted. I'm not going to go through the whole entire contact book, but we'll look through some of the names, see if we find a few that, kind of tickle our fancy, or somebody we might know. Yeah, this kind of stuff, I would suspect if any more of this kind of stuff is found, yeah, they're gonna make this public, because this kind of stuff, it's fine, it's not gonna do damage. They're more than likely gonna just blur out any information that is not really needing to be public or publicized, which is good. And they already know what to do. They know how to deal with it. They're already on it. They already know what to do. So they got it figured out. But again, it's kind of yeah, oh, David Blaine is on here? What? The magician David Blaine? No way. Wow. Mike Bloomberg is on here too? Wow. Yeah, if you guys want, you guys can look on here, but yeah, you guys, Brunel Jenner, yeah, Bruce Jenner apparently, I guess, is on here. But yeah, there's a bunch of people on here. So anyway, yeah, there's names on here. I don't know what list this one is. This is just all the masseuses redacted to protect potential victims' information, which is good. So all of this kind of information is public, and you're probably thinking, well, this doesn't mean that we couldn't see Trump's name on here. Is Trump's name on there? I'm sure that Trump's name could be found on there if you wanted to really look. But the biggest thing is that why are you just looking for Trump's name? Because again, like I said before, we already know that Trump already acknowledged that he has been on the list. He used to be friends, then he befriended Epstein. Once he found out what Epstein has done or became, he just said, no, I'm done with you, Epstein. So a lot of these people that are probably on here may be investigated, and more than likely are probably going to be questioned. And it's very sick because I seen David Blaine's name on there. I used to like David Blaine as a magician, but now I don't know. I'm kind of losing respect for David Blaine now for that one. But this is all public information that you can find. You can do research. You can look at it. It is fine. This is evidence that you can use to look at, and it will help you understand a little bit more what possibly is going on. It's not going to help you understand the full picture, but it will help you understand a little bit of the parts of the puzzle, key parts of the puzzle for us to understand what has been going on and what some of the people that are involved and who they are. And now we kind of know who they are, and it's making sense, and hopefully we get this all figured out. Now, the big question is, do I think there may be charges out of this? I don't know. I really don't know, because the big thing would be, they would have to have been involved in something really bad, and they would have to have also be found guilty of doing something or being involved in doing something really bad in order to be charged with something. So that's kind of another thing that they're probably possibly going to be looking at too. I don't know if that is also something that they will do. More than likely, they probably will. But I think right now they just want to figure out everything of who was there and the people's names and all that. And they'll probably get everything sorted out little by little. So it's just kind of like a puzzle piece right now. They're just little by little putting the pieces together, trying to get stuff figured out. But as we go, this is kind of pretty damning right now to a lot of, especially a lot of Hollywood celebrities, and especially to a lot of people. But yeah, for all you people that think, oh, it's just about Trump, no, it's not. Y'all are going to be very wrong, and y'all are going to see very soon how wrong y'all are. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Love y'all. See y'all soon. Bye.